So after an incident-packed first race for the E30s, we move on to the Castrol BMW Open class.
Who do you think is your biggest competition for this weekend?
Well, in the BMW Open class, because the cars are so widespread, you just don't know, because 2 races run on the handicap format. So you never know really, because some people go well, some don't. So there's the fast guys and the slow guys, but the beauty about the handicap racing is that everybody's got a chance. So really you're just out there and you go as fast as you can.
So do you prefer the handicap racing then?
Well, when you're in a slower car, that's better, yeah, because when you're in the scratch races, you start and you basically finish where you start. So no, the handicap racing is excellent fun, yeah.
So the points after Pukekohe looked like this for the Open class. Andre Cowan leads on 393 ahead of Michael Starnes on 308. Gary Murphy third on 287. Warwick Mortimer fourth on 284. So a scratch race lined up from qualifying times. Andre Cowan off the inside of the front row. Warwick Mortimer off the outside of the front row. The M3 GTR V8 replica. Beautifully built car. But it's going to be Cowan down to the first turn. Keep an eye out for Robbie Francevic, former Australian touring car champion, New Zealand motor racing legend, debuting this weekend in the Open class. Robbie's running a BMW 135. Actually won the first race here on Saturday with the handicap start from grid number 8 as the 53 of Paul Mill goes around. Let's have a look at the replay here. It's in the second position. Just loops it around. So that undoes a good start for Paul Mill. Here's Warwick Mortimer, had a solid weekend opener at Pukekohe, the bellowing V8 powered M3 GTR replica. There's Aaron Harris going through in third in the Harris Race Radio's M3. Harris running in Class B. There's Robbie Francevic. Twin turbo, BMW 135, 6-cylinder. Neat little car, good to see Robbie back out on the motor racing circuits. But it's Andre Cowan, the championship leader, leading at the end of lap number 1, chased by Warwick Mortimer. 2 very different race cars. Andre Cowan's 325, an ex-International Motorsport New Zealand touring car. Raced by the likes of Jason Richards and Craig Baird in former years. He's a former Series Open champion. He was beaten to the title by Mike Delmont last year. Delmont having some problems at the opening round at Pukekohe. And I think Delmont's having further problems here because he's not sighted inside the top 10 at the moment as we go on board with number 170, Michael Starnes. Looking through the gears off the Denny Holmes straight down towards Higgins. Lots of cambered corners at Manfeild. You've got a mixture of high-speed, mid-speed and low-speed corners, of course, with the hairpin. So quite a technical track. You've really got to get a setup that suits the race car over the majority of the race. 123 there, Rex Elder. Just in behind Rex is the BMW 635 of Dougal McGibbon. Car number 142, Graham Fraser, featured at the top of the Open coverage with the pre-race interview. Finished second in the opening race yesterday behind Robbie Francevic with Mike Delmont in third, but Delmont has disappeared off the lap scoring, so the current series champ having some dramas here at Manfeild like he did at Pukekohe, as Aaron Harris has now got the attentions of Robbie Francevic. Interesting story about Francevic from the weekend. Being a rookie, he's got to carry rookie stripes on the race car. And I think Robbie got creative with the stripes and added a few little notes to the stripes, something about being in the year 84 Australian Touring Car Champion, amongst other titles that he's picked up over the years. And after the race win yesterday, someone added a 4th rookie stripe to it. And race 1 winner from Manfeild for the BMW Opens. So Andre Cowan leads from Warwick Mortimer, Aaron Harris here in 3rd, Robbie Francevic in 4th. Back on board with Michael Starnes, and he's in the 5th position, chasing down Francevic. Starns second in the championship, leading the Class B. BMW's in the opens. Great sight there. Working out of Dunlop onto the front straight at Manfeild. 48 Neville Finlay just going through in another one of the Z3M coupes. McKibben in the 635. That's the ex-John Morton touring car that featured at the Wellington Street Race in past years. This is Zachary Lawrence in another BMW 635. A little bit more standard than the full Group A touring car driven by Dougal McKibben. So lots of new names, lots of new cars featuring in the BMW Open class. Andre Cowan's not a new name. He has raced in this championship over the last couple of seasons. Won the class 2 seasons ago, and he's got Warwick Mortimer covered here at the moment. Mortimer's got the headlights on, chasing down the former series champ. 6-cylinder BMW 325. And the bellowing 8-cylinder M3 GTR replica. So just looking at the lap times, Cowan 1:15.8. Mortimer a 1:16.08, so less than 2/10 of a difference in outright lap time at the moment between first and second. Aaron Harris back in third in the 1:19 flats. Robbie Francevic's done a 1:18.9. Great to see Robbie Francevic back out at Manfeild this weekend. In a brand new 2009 BMW 135. There's Paul Mill. He's limping around the racetrack. So he's recovered from his earlier spin, but he's got some mechanical dramas going on there at that speed. Zachary Lawrence goes through. There's David Lawrence. Grant Clegg is helping us in the commentary today for the BMW E30s and the beautiful little BMW 2002 TI Alpina. Not anywhere near as wild as Mike Delmont's car, but a fantastic car nonetheless. Neville Finlay in the BMW Z3 Coupe. 1999 3.2 litre. So again, just highlighting the diverse range of different BMWs running in this open class. As Francevic applying the pressure to Aaron Harris for that third position. Battles further back through the field. That's Malcolm Abernathy and David Brace. Brace in the JPS replica, number 87. Abernathy running in the 911 BMW 325. He's a heart surgeon from Wellington, of all things. So Mortimer right with Andre Cowan. That's first and second on track. The second race of the weekend for the BMW Open Series, brought to you by Castrol. Mortimer ranges up under brakes to Higgins, trying to get the crossover. Andre Cowan, a young guy, but he's got a lot of experience now after a few seasons on track as Mortimer. Looks to the outside, down through Dunlop, just working their way past lap traffic. Cowan. Two slightly different lines out of Dunlop. As the checkered flag comes out, Cowan's going to hold on just on the line from Mortimer. 2/10 was the difference at the line. So Cowan takes out his first win of the weekend ahead of Warwick Mortimer. Aaron Harrison third, the first of the Class B cars ahead of Robbie Francevic, Michael Starns, Neville Finlay, Dougal McKibben and Andrew Timms.
How was that?
Oh, it was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy coming down to Manfeild every year for the BMW Open Series because it's always a fantastic event.
Was it a hard race?
Well, from the start, I got the jump on the rest of the field, but very quickly Warwick Mortimer caught me up and made it very, very tough for me.
Are you having some issues with your shock absorbers?
Yep, we are. We've having to rebuild them. As you can see, each race we go out, we've just rebuilt them. There's just an inherent problem with this right-hand one here, and it's just one of those things that until we get it fixed properly, we're not going to be able to go faster.
How was that?
Yeah, no, it was good fun. Robbie Fencevic was getting close to me in that at the end there, so I had to do a little bit of blocking, but at least I still got third, so it was good.
Are you having any troubles with the car this weekend, or is it running smoothly?
No, it's running really well this weekend. You know, we probably might go on to slick soon, because to catch those guys at the front, we're still running a dot-rated tyre, so to get more speed, we probably need to spend some more money and put some slicks on it.
I heard you took the lead right at the end there.
Yes, I did, and like I knew if I really went hard out that I could get there possibly, and I did. And I looked in the mirror, but the tail enders weren't there.
You came off there fairly early into the pits. What happened?
Yes, unfortunately the car has cracked one of the header pipes to the turbo, so basically it's got no boost pressure, so that's why it took off really slow, and there's no point in pursuing it. Probably, could do other damage otherwise.
That's it for the weekend then.
Yep, well, we'll put her on the trailer today and we'll sit down and watch the rest of the racing, see how the other guys are going.
So coming off the back of the Castrol BMW E30 Series, we move on to the final race of the Open class. We catch up with former Series champ Andre Cowan.
Are you chasing anyone in particular this weekend?
Well, looking at the points from yesterday and from the rest of the season, I think Aaron Harris is very consistent, and I've got to watch out for him. And also Robbie Francevic is up there as well, and he could also take it out.
Robbie's been offering Andre Cowan some driver tuition, which is great to see for the youngster. So the final race of the weekend for the BMW Open class, handicap start based on lap times throughout the weekend. So you'll see the faster cars having to start out of pit lane. So with the split screen, we'll follow the first car away, and that's car 35, Judy DeLuva. Just seen that car racing in the E30s with Tony Easton. So there are a few more E30s in the class this weekend with the oversubscribed field for the E30s. So some of the drivers have had to drop into the BMW Open class. Peter Bromley screams away in another one of the many BMW 2002 turbos. So we'll follow the race leader as the rest of the field get away. There's Zachary Lawrence in the 635. David Lawrence in the number 51 machine. Grant Clegg, bright red 2002. Rex Elder in the BMW M3. So the next group of cars away. Finlay's in there in the Z3 Coupe as here comes Paul Mill. Mortimer and Cowan will be the final two cars away, as on the left-hand side of your screen, David Brace goes by Bromley. And the faster cars out of pit lane. So we've got all the cars out on track for the handicap finale for the BMW Opens from Manfeild. Part of a fantastic weekend for the MG Classic. Certainly one of the biggest classic motor racing meetings in the country. Certainly in the North Island when you compare it to the Scope Classic down south. But again, just such a wide variety of cars right throughout the classes, with close to 300 entries here at Manfeild this weekend. There's Paul Mill in the 53. They actually had a fuel leak that attributed to his spin in the second race, which we saw during the race 2 coverage. So they've got that sorted, and Mill's back out there in that stunning number 53 Z3M Coupe. Back on board with Michael Starnes, leading the Class B championship. So Starnes will be working his way through lap traffic. Here's your race leader, car 35, Judy DeLuva. Car 9 going through. That's Ross Gardner in the BMW 320. So just looking at the lap times, the lap time range, you're looking at sort of the 117, 118 mark for the faster guys, and anything down into the 130s, 133 marks for some of the slower cars. There's Andre Cowan battling there with Mortimer. Dougal McGibbon in the BMW 635 Group A touring car. So again, that picture alone, you've got an M635 Group A touring car, a purpose-built Z3 out-and-out race car, former New Zealand Championship winning New Zealand touring car, albeit now with the 3.2 litre six-cylinder engine, basically upgrading it to an M3 with Andre Cowan. So Cowan's got the run up the inside of McKibben here. up in the same colours as it used to race at. John Morton raced that car. Regularly seen around the motor racing circuits around New Zealand and, of course, the old Wellington Street Race. So Andre Cowan looking to maintain his championship lead. He won the second race of the weekend. Robbie Francevic won the first race. There's Robbie Francevic in that group of cars with Aaron Harris and Mortimer, as Mortimer's going to go down the inside of Francevic for the position. Aaron Harris, former New Zealand touring car racer in his own right. On board with Starnes. So again, a little bit of light rain you can just see on the windscreen of the number 170. As Harris has got his hands full there with Warwick Mortimer. So Mortimer looking to make some inroads into Andre Cowan's championship lead for overall in Class A. Going into the round, it was Michael Starnes, Gary Murphy, and Trevor Smith, who were the top three cars in Class B. Trevor Smith not competing this weekend at Manfeild, so only Michael Starnes, Gary Murphy, the two protagonists in the Group B class. Leading Class C after Pukekohe was Gordon Legg. He's also here this weekend looking to maintain that championship lead. So lots of battles. Quicker guys having to work their way towards the front from the back. There's Zachary Lawrence. Andrew Timms up the inside. Timms in the BMW 323. So Mortimer's really the first of the quick guys getting through the field. There he is there. Timms. Matthew Phillips just up ahead of them. There's 142, Graham Fraser. He's had a strong weekend. The E36 shape BMW 3-litre. There's Mortimer chasing him down the back straight, headlights on. Watch the speed difference here. Beautifully built Race FX M3 GTR replica, and I've got to say it's one of my favourite race cars of all time out of Europe and the US. So it looks like Ross Gardner's now got the lead in the 9 machine. So not a lot of laps left for the quick guys to try and work their way to the front as we're back on board with Starnes. Down the inside of Rex Elder. Off the kink onto the front straight at Manfeild. Hard on the brakes, down through the gears to turn 1, Toyota. Starnes just to the inside. Oh, bit of opposite lock off the exit. Went up the inside of Zachary Lawrence. In the 635. That's Robbie Francevic just up ahead. As Gardner works his way. And here comes Warwick Mortimer. He has stormed through this field. Up the Denny Holmes Straight, so he worked through a big group of cars through Splash and up to the hairpin. And look how much ground already the M3 GTR has made up and goes around Ross Gardner. And there's a big group of cars chasing Gardner down as well. So Mortimer through into the lead. For his first win of the weekend, and this car will be joined by at least 2 others. Barry Kirkbanand, as we said from the first round of Pukekohe, as the last lap board comes out. Barry Kirkbanand looking to debut his new Race FX built machine at Hampton Downs, and Mike Mosen coming back after having some problems at the opening round at Pukekohe. So 3 M3 GTR replicas. Wait till you see Barry Kirkbanand's. It is a serious looking piece of kit and sounding piece of kit, trust me. Look at this big group. The handicappers got it right behind Warwick Mortimer, but Mortimer, I think, should do this one pretty comfortably as they're 3 wide through Toyota. Finlay was right there in the middle of it in that pretty little Z3 M Coupe. David Brace, he's making some good progress through inside the top 10 in the JPS number 87. Here's Andre Cowan. He goes by Gardner. Just up track ahead of them, though, was Aaron Harris. So Aaron Harris second. Here's the race leader, Mortimer. Wonderful sound. So Mortimer was on the top of the podium at Pukekohe. Went into this round fourth in the championship overall, second in Class A. He's going to make some inroads in the points to Andre Cowan, but he'll take out the handicap finale in Manfeild for the Castrol BMW Open class. Gets the thumbs up on the line from one of the supporters. And it was a big win in the end. Aaron Harris will pick up second. Andre Cowan dropped the wheel off the exit of Dunlop for third. Michael Starnes will be fourth. Second of the Group B cars, Robbie Francevic, Graham Fraser, and Ross Gardner's going to hold on to seventh, just on the line from Matt Phillips. So some wonderful racing from Manfeild for the Castrol BMW Race Series. So Warwick Mortimer taking out the finale and the Hugh Tunley Memorial for 2009. Aaron Harris second, Andre Cowan third, Michael Starnes fourth in the second of the Class B cars.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Superb. Well, I've got a crew to thank this weekend. These guys have really worked on our shock absorbers, and we've had 3 rebuilds of shock absorbers through the weekend, and it's given out again. It gave out on the last lap, so it's time for some new ones. So, but we've had a great weekend, a good weekend. Manfeild always turn on a good weekend. Great that they look after these guys after the deal. That, you know, all the volunteers, they get a good pat on the back, and they should do too, because they're bloody marvellous.
Were you hoping for a better result than what you got?
Yeah, I was actually hoping to win that because I actually knew Hugh Tunley, so to get that trophy would have been a lot. So I was a bit disappointed to get second, but, you know, second's better than, you know, third down the field.
So you were pushing hard the whole race?
Yeah, I was pushing hard. It was raining at the start. I nearly went off on the first lap. I didn't realise it was actually as wet as it was, but unfortunately, yeah, second.
You seemed to get a bit stuck there for a while.
Yes, all of a sudden in the last sort of lap or two, you just hit a wall of cars. That is how the handicap is designed to work. And it's all about picking the right gaps to take, and some just end up into sort of a brick wall, and you don't get through.
And goal for next round?
Next round, I mean, the goal is always to win the round, and always to keep the car in one piece, because the ultimate goal is to win the season. So far I'm on the right track.
Andre Cowan is on the right track. He continues to lead the championship overall on 7.55 ahead of Warwick Mortimer, moving from fourth to second now on 6.24. Leading Class B and third overall is Michael Starnes on 5.83, and second in class and fourth overall is Graham Fraser.